Hi there, Dr. Graham Norton here. I'm a chiropractor in Fredericton, and today I wanted to share with you 3 simple exercises that you can do to reduce some of the tension and pain in your low back and your neck that really goes along with a lot of sitting. So Fredericton's filled with people that sit at a desk. That's the joys of being in a university town and a government town. We have tons of desk workers, and we know that the effects of sitting are super detrimental in the body, and everybody knows that it creates a lot of tension, and for many people, a lot of pain. So when we're sitting for long periods of time, the brain really gets no stimulus. It starts to feel like it doesn't need to do much work, and as a result, all the musculature that it controls starts to shut down a little bit. So if you watch somebody that sits, what you often see is this. The head starts to travel forward, the shoulders begin to roll, the nice curve that we have in the low back begins to flatten out, and it makes somebody really look like they have really poor posture, maybe even a bit of a belly that they don't necessarily really have. It's just that their posture is so poor. So when we're in this position for a long period of time, it's an incredible amount of stress and strain on all the joints, the ligaments, the muscles, and the entire spinal column. So we want to do whatever we can to help resist this. So Dr. Marie here is going to help me. She's going to be our little guinea pig, and she's going to show us these 3 exercises that you can do. Now these are really simple, but like anything, just gradually work into them. You might be really deconditioned, and these might even be a little tough, or they might be simple and you can go right after it. Listen to your body, listen to the cues of your body. So let's get started. So first things first, I'm going to get you to stand up. We're going to help open up some of these of the muscles in the front of the hip, because when we're in this position and the hips are closed, the muscles that cross from the legs here up until the low back, they can become shortened over time. It's just natural, right? The brain does what the body tells it to do. So if you're in here for a long period of time, well, it starts to shorten up the muscles as a result. So this is going to help open up these hip flexors and the psoas, which is deep muscle in there. So what you're going to do is go into a very simple lunge position. So there's a couple little things here that I want to keep a note of. Notice how she's nice and square and her posture is very tall, okay? So what you're going to do here is think about almost dropping your groceries straight down onto the ground. So if you notice, it was a straight drop down there. And what we have is the knee still tracking more or less above the toes. We don't want the knee to shoot too far forward, because if we do, it can put too much load on the knee, and for some people that can be a little uncomfortable. So even with this might be enough to generate that stretch in the front of the hip flexors. And you're going to feel that almost right in this area here. But if we want to make that stretch just a tiny bit more deep, what you can do is take the arm on the same side and put it right up to the sky. And you're going to feel a nice pull right along that area. Okay? So pretty simple. The range to actually get a good stretch is a little bit different depending on the person, but you can expect it anywhere between 15 and 45 seconds. Again, listen to your body, and for some people, doing it twice per side can be nice. Okay? So once again, we're going to have that nice, or you can do it there. We're going to have that nice tall posture. We're sinking straight down, getting a nice stretch on the back of that, on the front of the leg here. And then if we want to make it a little more intense, we're bringing that arm right overhead. Okay? So that's number 1. Number 2 is to, again, take some pressure indirectly off that low back by opening up the glutes. So for lots of people, the glutes are deconditioned and they're tight. So this is going to help open them up and get a little more breathing room in that low back. So again, we're always doing these exercises in good posture. We want tall posture. Never do these exercises in poor posture, because you're going to ingrain bad patterns, and we don't want bad patterns. So essentially what we're going to do here is bring one ankle up on the opposite knee. So I actually like to do this sitting because I find there's less room for air. Some people like to do it laying down. That can be an easy option as well. But there's a lot of simplicity in just doing it seated, and you can also do it at the workplace, which is great. So what's happening here is Dr. Marie's low back is nice and strong, so it's not folded, it's nice and tall here. And for many of you, this is going to be enough of a stretch. But to increase that stretch and get a nice deep stretch into the glute, what we're going to do is basically make a hinge at the hip and just sink forward there. So this is not a rounding of the back here. What it is just a little hinge movement at the hip, okay? And what's going to happen is you're going to feel real deep stretch in that glute. So same thing, you can do about 15 to 45 seconds, a couple times per side. and you will naturally feel a deep stretch with this one. And it can be a little intense if your hips are really tight, but it's excellent to do. And I'd do this a couple times a day if you could. Okay, so that's number 2. And then the third one is really going to help mitigate some of the postural strain and pain that we get in the neck and the shoulder girdle. So this really helps counteract this situation right here, which if you look around, almost everybody has, unfortunately. So I want you to think of this almost as a blind spot check, okay? So I'm going to get Dr. Marie to stand up here. And instead of just turning, what she's going to do is extend and look over the shoulder. Because if you see here, it almost stretches out all this musculature in the front. So when the head drops forward, the musculature on the back is usually deconditioned and things get short and tight at the start. So that also means that you've got to ease into this as well, because the more poor your posture, the deeper this stretch and the more intense it's going to be, okay? So what we're going to do here is just go through 10 reps, 1 rep is each side, nice and slow, looking over the shoulder with the eyes as well, under control. Real simple, but this is excellent to take some of that pain and pressure off the neck and create better posture. And the second one that goes along with that, this is kind of part 2, is going to help open up the pecs, the lats, the shoulder girdle that again tends to roll forward, okay? So the palms are going to face forward, and Dr. Marie's basically going to bring her hands right overhead and then bring the hands together, okay? And then you can see here, her posture is tall, she's not doing it in collapsed posture. So I like to do 10 reps under control with this one as well. So it would be 10 blind spot checks, and then it would be 10 shoulder to overhead, okay? Perfect, wonderful. So there you have it. Those are essentially 3 simple exercises you can do to help combat the kind of tension, the pain that goes along with sitting, and the postural strain that we get. So there's a couple things I want you to do here, really simple. Number 1, share this with coworkers, people that you know could benefit from it, because it's real simple, but it's real effective, and I know it can help them. And number 2, go ahead and like it, and if you have any questions, just leave them right underneath this video, and we'd be happy to get back to you. We'll answer every question that we can. Any question is fair game. We'll do our very best to help you out. I hope that's valuable for you, and I hope it helps you if you're sitting at a desk. Make it a great day.